I survived sniper fire in Iraq, but nothing could have readied me for the day that a suburban HOA president called me a bioterrorist over therapy dogs. When I raised a USB drive in front of a standing room only community meeting and watched her smug face dissolve into panic, I knew the truth was finally going to come out. My name is Nathan Reed, 30, former Marine Corps sniper, therapy dog trainer for other vets. I bought a modest 3-bedroom home in Crestwood Estates after 2 tours on my VA loan. I put every dime I had saved, $4,230, into that house. It wasn't real estate, it was stability. 6 rescue dogs were with me, my lifeline and crew. Max, a Belgian Malinois with combat injuries. Daisy, the lab from the hoarding case. Brutus, the gentle mastiff. Riley, the formerly abandoned collie, Tucker, the lame retriever, and Piper, the deep-eyed hound. The backyard was perfect for training. But the moment I found a 62-page HOA rulebook crammed in my mailbox, I knew I was doomed. Doom arrived knocking at the crack of dawn the next morning at 7 a.m. in the form of Lorraine Mitchell, HOA president, mid-50s, platinum bob, and a smile that could cut steel. She wielded a tape measure like a weapon, measuring my mailbox. Off by 1.9 inches, she tweeted, citing visual harmony rules. And then there were the dogs. They barked their way up the cul-de-sac. Lorraine's face whitened. "How many dogs?" she gagged. "6, I said. "Therapy animals, certified." I showed her the documentation, VA documents, training licenses, medical certificates. "These aren't pets." She didn't care. Enter Carl Dempsey, late 40s, inflated with self-significance and a bogus security uniform. "HOA Patrol," he announced, waving a plastic badge. Lorraine pointed at my dogs as though they were grenades. Noise violations, unauthorized animals, business activities. By dawn, I had neon violation notices taped to my door, $600 in fines and flyers warning neighbors about a dangerous veteran with attack dogs. People wouldn't meet my gaze. The smear campaign had begun. While I was planning a training course, I discovered a GPS tracker on Piper's collar. Military issue, not HOA protocol. This was under surveillance. The blinds stirred in Lorraine's window across the street. "Max," I whispered, "hostile territory, lock and load." That night, Lorraine and Carl had returned. An edge crept into her voice. "This is a family neighborhood, Nathan. Maybe you'd be more comfortable elsewhere." I stood my ground. "Ma'am, I serve this nation. This is my home, paid for in blood, sweat, and service. I'm not leaving." I overheard her whispering to Carl, "If he won't leave peacefully, we'll have the feds take him out. I've done it before." The next day, I was filling rehab pools for joint therapy when Lorraine marched over, accusing me of water theft from the HOA's communal spigot. "This is a common utility," I stated. "The seller promised it in writing." She was taking pictures like I was smuggling plutonium. "Cease and desist right now or go to jail." I requested evidence. She instead called an emergency HOA meeting to charge me with industrial water theft. I showed up in my dress blues, metals polished. Her PowerPoint presentation had labeled me a rogue operator. When I stood up, the room fell silent. "I'm Nathan Reed, Marine veteran. These dogs save lives. Veterans who are fighting PTSD and suicidal tendencies. This water, it's for therapy." The applause started as a murmur. Then it took hold. In the parking lot, Maria Alvarez, a part-time HOA bookkeeper and military spouse, approached me. "Lorraine's running a scam," she whispered. "She siphoned off HOA water for her private fountains. She's selling $1,350 a person's Sacred Springs retreats." That evening, with night vision gear, I confirmed it. an unauthorized feed to her fountains straight from the HOA main line. I launched Operation Liberty Bark. I documented it all: timestamps, water flow cadences, retreat time limits. Lorraine escalated. Carl stalked my lawn, taking pictures of the dogs. They used laser pointers to induce barking, accumulating 250 noise citations. Piper grew anxious. My own PTSD was triggered. Then came the cease and desist. She accused me of unlicensed operations and threatened to seize the dogs. But Maria revealed more. Lorraine evicted seniors, like 74-year-old Walter Hayes, for made-up violations. "She ruined me, Nathan," Walter said. "Don't let her get away with it." Maria revealed the smoking gun, emails and invoices, $2,500 water bills, forged documents, and the final nail in the coffin, $200,000 in embezzled funds. I shut down Lorraine's illegal pipeline one evening. The following morning, her high-end retreat had no water. She showed up on my porch, screaming, "You undermined me with your marine tactics." Then she committed the unpardonable sin. She called 911. "He's a terrorist veteran employing dogs for bioterrorism." I recorded the whole conversation. When police arrived, Officer Sanchez, a fellow veteran, saw through her act. "Lorraine, this is your fourth false alarm. That's a felony." Her empire was crumbling. She tried to get a restraining order, branding me unstable. Her lawyer depicted me as a threat in court. I stood before Judge Ellen Harper in full dress uniform. I showed her my certifications, veteran affidavits. Maria testified on my behalf. The judge wasn't swallowing Lorraine's smear campaign. She rejected the order and rebuked her for wielding stereotypes as a weapon. Outside the courtroom, Lorraine snarled, "I built this paradise. You and your mutts aren't going to ruin it." "Your paradise is built on lies," I said. Then Maria handed me a USB drive, contents, damning HOA documents, phony invoices, manufactured complaints. I compiled it all: slides, spreadsheets, notarized affidavits, and requested the floor at the HOA's annual meeting. Lorraine anticipated that I would beg. Instead, I presented a slideshow titled "Crestwood Corruption," "Water Theft," "Fake Retreats," "Embezzlement," "False Accusations," "Fictitious Security Payouts," her vendettas against disabled residents. There was a collective gasp from the room. I held up the USB drive. "It's all documented, including her threats." A no-confidence vote was passed, 52-0. Lorraine was escorted out by police. She was charged with embezzlement and fraud, having to sell her house to pay $250,000 in restitution. Carl's security scheme fell apart. He was charged with theft and impersonation. Walter regained his house. Maria became president of the HOA and drafted new bylaws to safeguard residents against harassment. Today, my backyard is a sanctuary, hosting therapy sessions for vets and families. Max is by my feet. A flag flies above the porch. I fought for freedom overseas and battled for it right here. Mission accomplished, buddy.